So here we go. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world right now. I hope today finds you well and safe and happy and warm and all things nice. There's a courtesy to all our speakers. Please mute your phones. And if you are going to move them around, please turn your camera off so we don't interrupt your speakers. My name is Maria Hopwood-Jones, and I see a Platinum Executive from Sydney, Australia. Now today we're going to have a webinar in which will be divided into three sections. We'll be talking about the health breakthrough and the opportunity it brings with Stevie Aquilina. We will have a powerful testimonial as well as Q&A towards the end if time permits. So without much further ado, let's get straight into it. I'd like to briefly introduce a wonderful speaker and presenter, the one and only Stevie Aquilina. Stevie Aquilina has been independent from a very young age. He's got a wealth of life experience and in business as well. A number of years ago, he and his wife Sarah had decided to start their ASEA journey. Now they live in Queensland, Australia, with their 4 boys. They have become very well sought out associates in the ASEA world. They're very well regarded, and their whole goal is to actually better people's life and be a force for good in the world. Stevie and Sarah are wonderful people. They've got a big heart. They're amazing. And if you are in their space, all you want to do is smile. Stevie, lovely Stevie, welcome to the webinar. Take it over.
Take it over. Well, thank you very much for the very lovely, very kind, very heartfelt introduction, Maria. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate what you do for me and, you know, and looking after me here and looking after us in growing this globally. And I know you do that for anyone too. I watch you and I really admire that your heart beats in perfect sync with the mission of this company. And I know you sincerely work to and want to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. So I really, really am grateful for you. Thank you. Everybody here, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon or maybe this evening, depending on where you are in your neck of the woods. I greatly appreciate you here, and I want to thank you very much for your valuable time. If you had paid money to be here, which you haven't, but if you had and you didn't like what you got, I would just happily refund your money. But I can't refund your time. And so I'm very, very grateful that you've decided to spend such value with me. And I intend not to waste it. What I'm here to do is to share with you the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Now, that is a very big claim, but it's medical science experts who say this. They say it's a very big breakthrough. They say it's greater than the discovery of DNA or penicillin. This is a very exciting and entirely new frontier in science. So you've probably never seen or heard of anything like this before. And for 2 decades, science had declared it was impossible. We're going to talk about a breakthrough with enormous potential that is proven by renowned universities and world authority laboratory medical studies. A very, very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted it shut down. I don't think they wanted you to know about it, but more about that a little later. Okay, so before I tell you what this is, let's get absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. So it's not a drug. It's also not vitamins, minerals, or antioxidant formulas. It's not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super steaks, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser light trees, the magical 5,000-year-old tree, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of all the other stuff that's already out there. What we'll be talking about instead is an entirely new frontier in science that goes well beyond nutrition. In fact, goes well beyond any type of ingredients you already know about, because this is a truly groundbreaking and category-creating healthcare breakthrough. ASEA Redox cell signaling technology contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're in your body. They are native to your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messengers that affect your cell signaling and cell-to-cell communication all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate tissue and maintain health by allowing your cells to be able to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, and detect and replace damaged cells. So basically, redox signaling empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps your cells and your body healing at optimal levels, functioning the way it should. Now, this is very important because we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular levels. So, of course, healthy cells means healthy life. They're the keys to life, redox signaling molecules. They're essential for the function of our normal physiology. All biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. I mean critically, because if all of our cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, we wouldn't live longer than just a few more seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, our lives end. When we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, can run around all day and not wake up sore the next, and how they can bounce back so very quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down, and our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals as we previously discussed, our whole cellular protection and healing processes becomes slow and sluggish. As such, our cells break down even more, and with it, so does our health, our wellness, youth, and our vitality. ASEA takes science very seriously and so doesn't do any scientific studies all themselves. They don't do it themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research, since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules. There have now been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in this National Library of Medicine, if you typed in redox signaling there, you would see well over 33,000 results. And I am sure that this slide is already out of date. Because it's a very difficult slide for me to continuously keep up with, because there are more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling molecules, and it doesn't stop. According to medical researchers, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And I'll give you a couple of examples of that. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and World Redox Congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. This is a very significant, very important field of science, and ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA redox users, they enjoy cell signaling benefits which translates to health at its most foundational level, ASEA Redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, that help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, that improves gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulates hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. But wait, there's more, because these genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in these dozens of additional genetic pathways that we just don't have time to go through today. Now, on top of all that, ASEA Redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Head professors at this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they coined disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, this is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, safer than the water you drink, safer than bottled water, 0% toxicity. Why? Well, because redox signaling molecules, as we said before, they are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it did when it was younger and or healthier. And all we're doing is putting those molecules back in your body and topping your body up to what it was in volumes when it was younger and healthier. Now, whether you have health challenges or whether you have people you care about who do, or if you have a wish you could look, live and feel young again, or if you have the good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, or if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you do not need to take my word for it. Let's hear from some medical doctors right now and what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken a bit about cellular health from the inside out, which can be a little bit tricky to see, let's have a look at what it looks like from the outside in, which can be a lot easier to see. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28, Revitalizing Redox Gel, and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. Now, these products are supported and enhanced by their complementary and all natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser, and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture paints 1,000 words, so let's let some of the pictures describe the effects to you right now. And what you're going to see is not just anti-aging effects, but in many regards, you're going to see age-reversing effects. You're going to see lines and wrinkles being smoothed out, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated and being renewed. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are being brought back to the proper surfaces of the skin. Now, all of these pictures are of the same person, even though the first two on the left look dramatically different. This is Rosie, and Rosie did not think that the products were doing anything because Rosie didn't take these pictures. Her doctor did. That's the one who recommended ASEA to her. So moral of this story is take pictures. Don't be like Rosie. She missed the moment by moment, day by day changes that were happening. So when you naturally get back to your family member or friend, whoever introduced you, because you want to get onto the Redox and you want to see how it goes naturally, take pictures. That's how you see how it goes. The other moral of the story here is some people notice results very quickly like Rosie after just 7 weeks, some people in 7 days. Most people I see will notice a result within about 7 minutes, give or take, whereas other people need to apply more product, more patience, more time, because they've got more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox seedling molecules work on every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, speaking about noticing the change, this is Dr. Martin Moran. He decided over 28 days to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot a difference? Type it in the chat box, perhaps. I'll give you some clues. Can you tell me what side you use the Renew 28 on when you look at the lines running down either side of the corner of the mouth? When you have a look at the lines running down either side of the nose? And the cheeks, do you notice what cheek you used it on and what cheek you did not? Do you notice any more prevalence in wrinkles or bunching up or bagginess on one side? Maybe this is the biggest clue of all. Have a look at the glasses, how they seem to be slanting to one side of the face, maybe suggesting more droopiness there. So I thank you, Dr. Martin Moran, every single time I show this picture because you walked around like a weirdo for all of us just to show how good Renew 28 is where you use it. Now, it's not just for your face, as you can see here, arms, hands, bellies. This is a friend of ours after about 3 kids. And bums. These pictures are from a study performed by a very renowned and world-leading laboratory. This scientific organization did this study because there were a lot of reports coming in from all around the world that people were seeing their cellulite disappear, and they were attributing it to the time that they'd been using Renew 28. And so these scientists set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see if there was any truth to these stories coming in around the world. And what they found was, after just 12 weeks, that there was in fact a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite post the use of Renew 28. And so when scientists did these ultrasounds to discover why this was happening, they saw that the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved post the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture and smoothness to the skin, supports surface skin cell renewal for not just visibly younger looking skin, but actually healthier skin. And Renew 28 also soothes skin discomfort after things perhaps such as sun exposure, shaving, things like that. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now, you can know if Renew 28, if a SEER works in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, maybe neck, shoulders, elbows, hands, fingers, back, back, hip, knees, ankles, anywhere, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on the point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I want to make sure that you understand that nothing that I have said here has been intended to diagnose anything that's going on with you, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Maria, we have a very special guest here today to tell a very special story. Could I hand it back to you so that you could introduce our good guest?
Absolutely. Thanks, Stevie. I really appreciate that presentation. It's just so well explained. I'm sure everybody that is here is taking a lot out of it. Our next speaker, it's an amazing human being. His name is Dan Doyle. He's very well known to all of us. He's built and sold a wide range of traditional business all his life, and he was very, very successful. However, life sometimes is very fluid, and it will throw you a lemon. So you got to make lemonade. So here's the thing. He was courageous enough to find an answer after the doctor said that there was nothing they could do for him. Today, Dan and Suzanne live in Honolulu and have achieved the rank of #3 in ASEA as a Triple Diamond Ambassador. Dan is a wealth and is a wellness I'll get it right in a minute. Dan is an experienced sales a Redox specialist, and he travels the world whenever he can now, actually promoting and explaining this amazing health breakthrough to the world. He's totally committed, just like Stevie and a lot of people on this webinar, to change people's life and be a force for good in the world. Dan, can I invite you to the webinar to tell us your wonderful story?
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Stevie. I'll just cut back off video so everybody can concentrate on my PowerPoint, and then I'll come back to you guys. So thanks for being on the call tonight. This is a new call, and thanks for putting this together, Stevie and Maria. It's in a different time for different time zones to hit different markets. Really appreciate everybody being on the call. Anybody who's new on the call, I always like to say, please relax. We're not here to convince you of anything or sell you anything. We're here to simply share some information. We don't sell, we tell. We tell our stories. We share our stories that we've created thanks to this product, this technology, what it can do for us physically, and also what it can do from a business point of view. Whoever's invited you on this call, I would say that they've just handed you one of the best gifts, one of the biggest gifts that you'll ever receive in your entire life. Totally up to you whether you open that gift or not. But as I said, hopefully this information that we're sharing with you can help you to make that decision whether you want to use what we have. Just want to reiterate the company disclaimer. I know Stevie just said it, that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But we do have something pretty special, a product, a technology that signals the body to heal itself. So I'm going to go into my story. I did grow up in Sydney, Australia. Great to see my cousin Mark on this call, all the way from Sydney. I used to play a lot of sports, and I did that to distract myself from school. I actually ended up dropping out of school. I didn't like school. I didn't like doing homework. I didn't like anything about school. I definitely didn't let school get in the way of a good education. I was self-taught and went into business, but I started playing a lot of sports where I got a lot of discipline. Rugby, judo, gymnastics, surfing, aerobics, and this thing called bodybuilding, where I started off in my first businesses back in the early 90s, where I had a gym and became a young entrepreneur. And obviously, as you can see by the photo, I wanted to be a product of the product. Being in the health and fitness industry, I wanted to make sure that people believed in and trusted what I was talking about with achieving this in this type of sport. So fast forward 20 years from this photo, age 24 to 44. And I wasn't a bodybuilder anymore, but I used to go to the gym every morning doing cardiovascular work. Over that period of time between those two photos, I was involved in building and selling around 20 traditional businesses, employing about 3,500 people. But at this point in my life, 6 months later, I found something that wasn't quite right with my body. And I was flipping properties a few years earlier than this photo, and I used to use the weed killer, Roundup from Monsanto, and it caused me some major grief. 2011, the doctors gave me some very bad news, told me I had 2 major health challenges. You can see by what they put me through in a hospital in Sydney, Australia. I had no hair from the top of my head to my toes. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, standing next to me. Johnny played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He'd been through the hospital visits that I had started in this photo. And Johnny was in remission at this time at the age of 21. And after this photo, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He started on those things that I was experiencing in this photo. And unfortunately, we lost him at the age of 23 years old. Very sad story. Way too young. At the end of my 2.5 years of what they put me through in that hospital, they told me to get my affairs in order. Now, I was a sort of guy that, you know, when growing up, was sort of conditioned to obviously work with doctors. You know, our health is in the doctor's hands. And fortunately, I turned that around because I did some research, and research led to an alkaline diet. So I was on the path of taking the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And I started looking after myself when they said they couldn't do anything for me. And over the next 2 years, not only I went on to an alkaline diet, but I spent a lot of money on products from different companies from all around the world. And I was on all these products and this diet for 2 years, and this was the result. Doctors were telling me my blood works were still heading in the wrong direction. I still looked terrible. I felt terrible. I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. A friend of mine called at this time in 2014, said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, I flew to the ASEA headquarters in Salt Lake City, Utah. I started on the ASEA product. In 3 hours, I was going through a major detox, toxins coming out so fast, they were coming out of my skin. In 12 hours, a 20-year caffeine intolerance had gone away. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over in discomfort and bloating all day. And in 48 to 72 hours, all the lung damage caused by what they put me through in that hospital, I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect. Flew back to Australia, kept drinking the product. 12 months later, 2015, doctors gave me some really good news on this day, told me there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away. 20 years of pollen problem, sneezing, runny nose, had all gone away. My whole body had been rebuilt top to bottom in just 1 year on the product. Let's fast forward. That was my journey back to health. Let's fast forward another 2 years, 3 years on the product. Have a look at the anti-aging effects of what this product does. And I always like to go back here to 2014, because what you're seeing here is a direct result, a reflection of what was happening on the inside of me at that time. 1 year later on the product, what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was happening on the inside of my body at this time. 3 years on the product, what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was happening at that time and how my body was performing on 3 years on the product. So that was my journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. I made a decision after 5 months to start sharing ASEA with some people. And as a result of doing that, the company started sending me thank you checks. Those thank you checks I invested back into my health by buying more product. If it wasn't for the business model behind ASEA, there was no way I could afford this product for my health. So after I started 12 months in, I became what I used to hear about in the industry, which was a diamond. And I heard about diamonds in other companies, knew it was something substantial, but didn't really know what that meant. But it's a substantial income. 3 years in, I got to number 3 in the world, and 6 years in, Suzanne and I, my wife and I, can do what we want when we want to do it. It's just an amazing life and lifestyle that this has created. And if I go back 10 years and somebody came to me with Amway this way or that way, I'd definitely run the other way. But I can tell you, knowing what I know today, I would never go back to traditional business. I would never go back to a corporate job with this business model, with what this company has done for the network marketing industry, with their breakthrough, their corporate leadership, their compensation plan, the ethos of the company, and the field leadership. There's nothing that can compare or compete with not just the breakthrough and all those boxes that the company ticks, but also the opportunity that we have with the business. It's the most compelling thing I've ever come across in my life. So we're in unprecedented times. This is the perfect storm as far as we're concerned. We've got a company that is a vehicle that can take somebody back to their health or take them to wherever they want to go financially. So with that, we are going to continue to leave our legacy to humanity as the founders of this company has done. And we are looking for people to also help to leave their legacy as well. And with that, I'll get Stevie to come back in and talk a little bit about the opportunity behind ASEA.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you for so many reasons, in so many ways, in ways I couldn't repay you to. So when Dan said that he came back and started introducing this to people, I was one of those people, and Dan had been on the products. And when he told me what had happened to him, I was immediately grateful that he had found an answer that he was desperate for, and that I was praying for him as well, because it would have been a greatly different and sadder world if I didn't have my best mate Dan around. So I'm very, very grateful that he found it. But also, maybe what he didn't know at the time was that my father needed answers desperately as well. His health had a very big concern on it, and his life too. And also, just as much as I knew people like my father and my mother-in-law, in fact, and a few others that needed to know this very urgently for their physical concerns, I had financial concerns as well. And so what Dan had done in just one simple phone call, he'd, given my family life-changing possibilities in just one phone call, but in multiple ways: life-changing breakthrough, life-changing financial opportunity, and also a life-changing culture as well. I'd always strive to be a better man, and this company showed me in more ways than I knew before how I could become one. And so I want to share that with you just very, very briefly. With every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. So there's a very big opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, ASEA is not just the world's first, but only redox signaling supplement for two simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, no one has been able to figure out, other than he, how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. But not only is it not allowed to be copied, ASEA can't be copied. There's no way to look into a bottle and reverse engineer ASEA, because there are trade secrets in making ASEA. It not only is not allowed to be copied, it can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. Of course, that means that we will have no copycats. That means no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors, because no other product in the world can do what ASEA does, none of them. Redox works on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well or at all without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody needs redox. And again, ASEA is the only company in the world that the company can get a redox supplement from. So whether it's healthcare wellness, whether it's sports science or athletic performance, or whether it's beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, these are multi-trillion-dollar industries, and we serve all of them at a depth and level and get to an achievement in the human body greater than anything else you have ever seen or heard of before. ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people, and we can't do that all on our own. We recognize that, and so we look for people to help spread the word. And this is where the thank you checks come from that Dan mentioned. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing Redox with others, just by introducing people like someone has introduced you today to watch the very presentation you're watching right now. Here's how it works. You receive an ongoing income, not only from the first purchase, but also from every single ongoing lifelong purchases made by everyone you introduce ASEA to. And you can refer as many people as you like. Tell them all. On top of that, you also receive an ongoing income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer. And we all do this all the time already. When you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, or whatever, people tell people, who then naturally tell other people, who then tell even more people. It's called word of mouth marketing. And it's not just the most ancient, but today still the #1 most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. And there's no limits to it, especially with how connected the world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide very easily, very quickly. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries. They're opening up new markets almost every single year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. So if you're looking for an extra or part-time, or I wish I just could afford more time, or maybe a full-time, or maybe a big time, or even a legacy leaving income for generations of loved ones to come, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. For people who are switched on, smart, business-minded, for people who've wanted to be in the right place at the right time, for people who are able to recognize a good thing when it's coming their way. It is here. It is here at ASEA. This is a significant and very real opportunity to be paid a very significant and very real residual income from the growth of this global expansion. You know, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. And who you become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it may make you. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. And can even be rewarded on top of that with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. and have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it's people that matter most. It's the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. So why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And you know what? Maybe you are, because there are now hundreds of doctors all over the world now recommending Redox to their patients and seeing unprecedented results. But the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies did offer to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down, and they wanted everyone to be taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son Tyler Norden, had the great foresight to see very grave concerns and consequences in that deal, because Virtus and Tyler got to see people who went from very severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, to then experiencing life-changing power, life-changing experiences from Redox. And these two men were then filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they said no to the payout. They said no to selling out and yes to the people. You see, what had started as just a big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's guiding principles was demonstrated in this first and very important decision, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and their corporate team come from very impressive backgrounds, from Fortune 50 backgrounds. They are exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, famous household name companies. But their corporate soul is also what makes them unique and truly first class, because to them, people matter more than money. Very good at making money, but will never do it at the cost of the benefit for people. You are in very good hands. So I invite you to get back with whoever shared this with you. Don't worry about what the time is in your neck of the woods. They'll be glad to hear from you. Let them know that you were here. Let them know what you've seen here. Let them know perhaps what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers. There's plenty of university studies, but most importantly, hundreds of thousands of people's real life-changing Redox experiences for you to see ASEA is the real deal. So, do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Start by doing it with one person, and that person is you. And furthermore, if you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others, and your life will become better in many, many ways. Become part of this Redox reality, and you can become and have more. So I thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well. Thank you very much, Dan, my very, very good mate. And thank you very much, Maria, for looking after us.
You're welcome. Thank you, Stevie, for such a wonderful presentation. It really clarifies and is very well outlined what we really have in our hands. I do appreciate you and thank you for your time. I know you're doing a lot of this, and ASEA will are very, very grateful. Dan, thank you so much. On behalf of everybody, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for your time, for your for the fact that you took your responsibility, the responsibility of your health back into your hands all those years ago. And thanks to you, I personally am here as well. I'm sure it's Stevie and a lot of people in your team. We appreciate you. We thank you for everything you do. So thank you for your time. And to those that attended this afternoon, this evening, or this morning, no matter where you are in the world, we thank you as well, because it's you who we are looking to help spread the word, and the fact that we've got something amazing in our hands. So once again, Stevie, thank you. Dan Doyle, thank you. We can stop the recording now.